Alright then, as Jim said, we are live in Mount Shannon for most of the afternoon with a very special return to the Morning Dew with Clean O'Donnell coming up in about 20 minutes, and just before that we're going to play the news, and there will be live music here all afternoon as well, so stay tuned and you won't miss anything. So stand by for the news read by Ursula Hogan.
Welcome back to the News Desk on Scariff Bay Community Radio, bringing you weekly updates of news and events from around East Clare and a selection of music on Saturday the 25th of September 2021. It's great news that we in Scariff Bay Community Radio are back on the airways on 88.3 FM and 92.7 FM. We have been granted another 100-day licence from the Broadcasting Authority of Ireland, the BAI, and this will ensure that the station will continue to broadcast every weekend for the next 12 months. So with over 50 volunteers giving their time every week, we hope you are enjoying your local SBC or radio, and we will always welcome your support. Speaking of support, we are having a Churchgate collection this weekend before the Masses, or you can give a donation to any of the volunteers, or you can check clubfunder.com/clubs Scariff Bay Community Radio General Payment. Scariff Library is delighted to present Time Lapse by the artist Klaus Eckhard Kramer. After training as a journalist and photographer and pursuing an international career in public relations culminating in his work as media delegate in Formula One, Klaus took a step back from the hectic life in the fast lane and concentrated on image and text art, something he had never lost out of. Klaus started exhibiting his photographs nationally in Germany and soon was accepted at international shows. Since 2016, he's a regular at the prestigious annual art fair in Edingen. His pictures unerringly capture the viewer's gaze and inspire reflection. Klaus attaches great importance to colourfulness and extreme subtleties, which often appear in their details as if they have been painted with the finest brush. He's been exhibiting in Germany, Austria, France, Albania, and now in Ireland. The exhibition is open during library hours, and you can contact the Scariff Library for more information on 061 922893 or email scariff_library@clarecoco.ie. Clare Arts Office and Glore launch Dial a Shanachie. It's a unique audio experience celebrating Irish folklore, storytelling and song. Dial a Shanachie is a phone service that will allow members of the public to listen to curated Irish folklore stories and songs from 6 contemporary voices. The phone service will operate between the 1st of October and the 1st of November, and callers will be invited to choose from the list of short readings by well-known Irish artists and performers. The readings are a mix of story and song with themes universal to mythology the world over, like widows, witches, lost islands, sun gods, drunkards and devils. Deep reverberations from our past, but still felt very much in the present. The Shanachie is the custodian of an oral tradition, preserving the past for future generations. Dial a Shanachie 2021 will feature new recordings from 6 acclaimed Irish artists who are invited to reinterpret existing Irish folklore tales for a contemporary audience. And featured artists are Lisa O'Neill, Andreas de Stack, Ruth Smith, Ian Lynch, Ciara Conway and Kevin Barry. So you may dial as often as you like to hear all the stories for the cost of a local call. The Fecal Folk Club will host a number of live events in Pepper's Bar in the next number of weeks, and on Friday, the 8th of October, Pauline Scanlon, Nicola Joyce and Norina Kennedy will perform. Their tickets will cost €16.50 and can be purchased from Eventbrite at Pepper's Bar Fecal. O'Gonlow National School Parents Association are holding a Cash for Clobber collection this Sunday, the 26th. Bags can be dropped into the shelter by the basketball court at any time on the day. This big fundraiser is for the school and your support would be appreciated. Mount Shannon Arts Festival with the theme of regeneration is taking place this weekend from the 24th to the 26th. All information is available on the website mountshannonarts.ie, and you can listen for the live broadcast from there by the Scariff Bay Community Radio team. Join Bernadette Murphy and friends for a casual walk Oscoilga around Mount Shannon village on Saturday to see the art trail. You can meet at the Wren at 2 p.m. This is a beautiful mural on the wall of the childcare centre beside the Inishcaltra National School. Also, there'll be a pop-up Gaeltacht to celebrate the language within the community. They will meet in the smaller marquee down by the lake on Sunday the 26th from 12 noon to 1:30 p.m. So don't worry about your level of Irish, it's all about your love of the language. Derryguile Adventure Centre will be offering kayaking and paddleboard taster sessions from Mount Shannon Harbour, as well as a sunset kayak excursion around Inishcaltra. Festival wristbands are required for the taster sessions, and Holy Island excursions cost €25 and will last approximately 90 minutes. So pre-booking is essential. You can call Derryguile 087 125 4365. The search is on for candidates for the Clare Older People's Volunteer of the Year Award 2021. They are looking for applicants who give their time, energy and skills to help others in the local community. If you know someone whose name you want to put forward, you can email hmaloney@clarecoco.ie or visit the website clarecoco.ie/services community Clare Age Friendly County, and the applications must be submitted by the 1st of October. A ladies' boutique clearance sale in aid of Missionville, Ireland will take place on Saturday the 2nd of October at 10:30 a.m. in Ogunalloe Exchange Community Hall. There's a range of new women's clothing from sizes 8 to 24 with smart, casual, day and evening wear and wedding outfits at greatly reduced prices. For the fashion conscious, some of the labels include Kate Copper, Badu, Personal Choice, Be Young and Sukrana. So come along and shop for all the bargains in Ogunalloe Exchange Community Hall and stay for a cuppa in the Clare Care Connect Cafe too. Women's Aid are looking for people for their fundraiser to sign up to do 2,000 squats in October. You can do this challenge wherever and whenever suits you. You will be joining thousands of other women across Ireland bursting out squats to support the women and children who experience domestic violence. Check the website womensaid.ie or you can phone 1800 341 900 if you are in need of their services. Pieta House, Preventing Suicide and Self-Harm, are doing a fundraiser also, and they're looking for people to jog 31 miles in October to help their great cause. Sign up and they will send you a Pieta t-shirt to jog in. So check the website pieta.ie. Scariff Public Library will be providing a free smartphone classes for older people, so you can become familiar with installing apps, using Zoom and sending emails, and learn how to use the library online resources. Classes are starting from the 27th of September, and to book a place you need to phone 061 922 893. Loch Isle National School Whitegate will be holding a clothes collection on Tuesday the 28th of September. All bags can be dropped into the school car park on the morning of the collection before 10:30 a.m. The usual items are accepted, but no toys, rugs, duvets or pillows, please. And your support will be very welcome. The Glenwood Ambush Memorial Committee is compiling a new book to remember the 100th anniversary of the Glenwood Ambush. The book will be launched in October at the memorial site. The new memorial to remember the safe houses will also be unveiled. If anyone has any relevant information or photos, please contact Patsy Neville or any other committee member. Feakle National School will be holding a Cash for Clobber clothes collection over the next couple of weeks. The bags can be dropped to the school shelter from the 27th of September, and the collection will take place on Friday the 8th of October. The funds raised will help cover the costs of the various bills throughout the year. The school is grateful for all the support. Scariff Bay Community Radio's Irish language programme, Gaeilge agus Fáilte, will be starting up again very soon. Gaeilge agus Fáilte, presented by Bernadette Watson, is a lively mix of chat, information and of course music. So listen out for it on Sundays at 4 p.m, and for all information call Bernadette on 087 697 0075. Sing Ireland National Singing Week in association with Mental Health Ireland will take place from the 10th to the 17th of October. Given the extraordinary times we live in over the past 19 months, Sing Ireland is particularly encouraging groups all over the country to take part. Choirs, schools and other groups will mark World Mental Health Day, which is on the 10th of October, and also highlight the fact that choral singing is good for your mental health. Group singing has been scientifically proven to lower stress, relieve anxiety and elevate endorphins. Choir directors will liaise with Sing Ireland regarding the safe return to choral singing. The news is sponsored by Leona Nails and Beauty Salon in Scariff. That's all the news for this week. News was compiled by Carmel Keenan and read by myself, Ursula Hogan. Stay tuned for the weather forecast read to you by Jim Collins. Thanks for listening and stay safe.
The weather forecast on Scariff Bay Community Radio is brought to you by Paddy Punch Engineering of Scariff. This Saturday morning will have a cloudy or dull start with some patchy light rain or drizzle. Cloud will lift during the day, allowing for a mix of cloud and sunny spells, with drizzle becoming more isolated through the afternoon. Highs of 17 to 20 degrees. Dry in many areas tonight with clear spells with some light rain or drizzle on the western and southern coasts. Another mild night with temperatures not falling below 14 or 15 degrees. Rain will move into the west tomorrow, Sunday morning, which will be heavy at times, spreading eastwards during the day. Conditions will be blustery or squally. Highs of 16 to 20 degrees. Rain will clear from the west in the afternoon, turning noticeably cooler with winds easing too. A mix of clear spells and showers will follow from the west on Sunday night, with some showers heavy. A cooler night than of late, with lowest temperatures of 7 to 10 degrees. Monday will be a noticeably cooler and fresher day with a mix of sunny spells and heavy showers. Showers most frequent over the western half of the country with the potential for thunderstorms, highs of 13 to 16 degrees. The showers will continue during Monday night with clear spells also, lows of 6 to 10 degrees. Tuesday will see further heavy showers with sunny intervals with a continued risk of thunderstorms, feeling fresh and cool in places with highs of 12 to 15 degrees. While current indications suggest that a spell of rain will arrive on Wednesday and the temperatures will be in the mid-teens. And that's the forecast. The weather forecast on Scariff Bay Community Radio is brought to you by Paddy Punch Engineering of Scariff.
This is Ursula Hogan, welcoming you to News Extra on Scariff Bay Community Radio, where we feature interviews which go into detail on some of the events in the news this week. The launch of Tomás McNamara's latest book, The Scariff Martyrs, took place last weekend. The launch was performed by Dublin historian Liz Gillis. As people gathered for the event at Scariff GA Park, Jim Collins met up with Liz for Scariff Bay Community Radio.
And I'm here at the launch with Liz Gillis. Liz, you're very welcome to Scariff.
Thanks a million for having me. It's my first time here and it's absolutely gorgeous. I feel like I know the streets from reading Tomás's book, so to actually be here in the town, in the area, is absolutely amazing.
Yes, you're a historian yourself.
I am, yeah. Like Tomás, I've written about the Irish Revolutionary period with a focus on Dublin and Cork and then the women.
Okay, and the women?
The women, yeah.
Yes, okay. So how you became interested? You obviously know Tomás.
Yeah, we met a couple of years back in 2019, but see, I had known of Tomás's work, he had known of my work. It's quite a small world, the history world, and I love Tomás's work, so we just made contact and met up in Dublin and just hit it off immediately. It was like comparing notes, as in, you know, he's telling me all about what happened in Clare, I'm telling him about all what happened in Dublin, but the thing that we have really in common is getting those local stories, because that's where you have the real gems that's where the real history is, on the ground with the less well-known men and women.
And I suppose even though one is Dublin and the other is a rural part of East Clare, there's probably a lot in common.
Oh, they're all connected. And Tomas actually proves this and shows this with the book. I'm not going to give it away, but there are so many connections. Like, we all know that Ireland is a village in anyway, but in terms of the Irish Revolution, it doesn't matter whether you're in Cork, Clare, Dublin, Belfast, you will find those connections. All those strands are brought together, and they all play a part in the story of the Irish Revolution.
Okay, and I suppose the reason for your hobby and your work is that the past is remembered, and I suppose you have a great view of the importance of that.
Oh, definitely. We need to know our past. We have to know our past, and we cannot forget the sacrifices that were made by those previous generations. And what I love about Tomas's work, and I would be similar as well, is that we're really interested in getting out those stories that haven't been heard in a long time or haven't been heard before. Because, as I said, that's where you find the real nuggets of history, because we all know the big stories. But you can't have the big stories without those little stories. They all feed into it. And it's just such a rich resource. There's so many stories still yet to be discovered. And Tomas is just shown, is a shining example of what you can do when you bring it down to a local level, and the value of oral history and how important oral history is in telling the story of our past, because you're getting the human side of it.
And I suppose sometimes there can be a conflict between, maybe at academic level, between the written history and where there are multiple sources, and then the oral history where you're talking to an older person who was talking to somebody 50 or 60 years ago and bringing you their story.
Yeah, and again, Tomas totally shows the huge importance of oral history, because oral history, the people kept those stories alive through the generations. There were records kept, official records. They have now been released thanks to military archives, and whereas it may have been said that you can dismiss oral history because it is not written down, the records that have been released are verifying the testimonies that were given by people orally all those years ago. So the two are coming together, and it cannot be dismissed. Oral history cannot be dismissed any longer. It is a viable source. It is an essential source to tell this story.
And I suppose it's the oral history that's passed on by word of mouth is what influences generations as they hear them.
Well, that's it. And the other value with oral history is if you're reading a document, you're not getting the sense of emotion or the sort of impact of certain events. They just don't come out of the page when it's an official document. With the oral history, and especially with like Tomas recording those interviews, every sigh, every pause, every breath, that's actually enhancing the story. People give away more of the impact of an event that happened in their lifetime by the silences that they give in the interviews. And that's missed on a page. So by listening to those interviews, and the way Tomas, he has a gift, that even when you're reading the words that Tomas had himself recorded, you can see where the pauses are, and you can actually feel what that person is feeling when they're recounting that story from 100 years ago.
Talking to one or two people, and I'll let you go then because I know you've an important job to do. Talking to one or two people around, let's say, whose family members were involved, in the IRA or whatever, many of them wouldn't talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
And would you have found that in your work, that those who were involved, let's say back in 1920, 21, they wouldn't talk about it themselves?
Yeah. And I suppose it's the trauma of what they went through, the loss, the sense of maybe wanting to just try and move on, not forget because they would remember themselves, but by not talking about it, it was a way of maybe helping to deal with such huge trauma. But then you have the likes of people like Tomas and other local historians who were who saw the potential there, who knew there were stories there and that had to be documented or had to be recorded, and that he was willing to go and ask those people would they talk to him. They then trusted him, because this is a huge thing. You tell those stories about what was going to happen with that information. So you have to build up a relationship, and Tomas obviously did that. You know, I can imagine him, you know, as a young fella knocking on the doors, you know, saying, please talk to me. I can imagine his enthusiasm. But they trusted him enough to tell those stories. Not that they would be used immediately, but in 20 or 30 years, that someday they might be released. Yeah. And that moment has come. Sadly, a lot of the people that Tomas would have interviewed are no longer with us, but thankfully he got them. Yeah, and they're part of this story now. So the revolution is obviously one part of the story, but remembrance is the other part of the story, how we remember. And this is what Tomas has captured in this book, both elements, the story of the revolution and the story of remembrance. And it's amazing, and thank God he was so enthusiastic when he was a young lad, and he saw the potential and he knocked on those doors and he got those stories down, because this is a legacy for the community. It's amazing.
Okay, well, I can see, Liz, why he asked you to launch it, because the enthusiasm just flies out of you. Listen, you have a big job to do in a few minutes, so many thanks for talking to us here on Scariff Bay Community Radio.
Thanks a million for having me. Thank you.
The first round of the Clare Senior Camogie Championships took place last weekend. Champions of 2 years ago, Scariff Gunlow overcame Kilkishen Bodyke at Father McNamara Park, and afterwards Scariff Gunlow manager David Sullivan spoke to our sports correspondent Pat McNamara.
David Sullivan, the juvenile manager, on his first victory in the Clare Senior Championship for Scariff Gunlow.
And while David just fixing on his head there, David, first of all, congrats on a very comprehensive win against a solid team, but he was very pleased with the contribution of the mature players and also the very young players who's making their debuts.
We are. Look, I suppose when I first took over here, I never looked anything beyond this game, first round of a championship. I think I tried to drum into the players all along that you can get too far ahead in a campaign and forget to win the games you're meant to win, and we've worked very hard for this day. Since the county girls have come back at the start of August, we've really ramped up preparations. I'm dealing with a fantastic group of players. We've given so many numbers to the county all throughout the year, and it's given us a chance then to develop the likes of Daniel Best in there today, Lorraine Grady, Cliona McNamara, Rachel Daly and Goads. We've given us a proper opportunity to play all those girls in a senior league that maybe they mightn't have got the opportunity if we had a full squad available, and so I'm thoroughly delighted. But the thing is, now we have to kind of switch to next week, and it's unrelenting. It's 3 weeks in a row, so we're looking forward to it.
It's going to be helpful leather. And David, one thing we did seem to notice in the first half is that you weren't exactly passing the ball around for the fun of it in defence. We noticed that your half-back line midfielders were delivering great balls to the forwards in front to give the forward the advantage. The forwards are showing in front. We just thought that the fairly direct game you were playing suited the conditions. Yeah, well, to be honest, the one thing I bred into these girls is direct. I trust these girls in my life. I'm not going to entertain sweepers or entertain being afraid of anybody in this championship. We're here to stand one-on-one with everybody in this championship, and I think some of us people are forgetting about us in terms of talking about maybe winning this competition, but we've seen today that we have a group of players who are capable of doing that, and we want to be direct and we want to run at teams, and we want to cause a lot of teams a lot of problems in this championship, and we're going to give it hell for leather. It looks like you will, and a lot of teams can take notice of today's performance. You will be aware of the success of this team, I suppose, in recent years before you took over, and what are the qualities you've seen in all the sessions you've had with them and the league games, etc. What are the qualities you most like in this team that you've seen since you took over? Just unbelievable hurlers, just very talented, very committed. Like, we were in Cravens last Sunday morning at 8 o'clock and had a full panel of players available, and that doesn't, you can go to many camogie clubs around Ireland but you won't get that response. I know I'm dealing with a very professional outfit full of fantastic players who are willing and dying to win a championship, and whether they're the youngest girl on the field, Danielle, today, or whether they're Bob or Mairead inside, every girl is hungry to win another senior championship, and I know what I'm dealing with is a very ambitious group of players who are willing to die for us, and we're willing to die for them on the sideline, so hopefully that success will follow from there. So great spirit in the camp, obviously, and obviously the girls are enjoying their training, so it's your first foray really into this type of hurl, this type of camogie in Clare at this level, and who are the teams you'll be looking out for? Who have you up next, and what are the things you have to look out for the other sides that you'll be very aware of? I suppose we're playing St. Joseph's Door Bearfield next week, and
you could ask many different people. They'll probably say we should win that one handy, but that's not our approach, or that's not our mindset at all. We will treat them with as much respect as we treated Kilkishen Bodike today, and that's the way we have to do it every week, because if we take the eye off our ball once, you'll get beaten by teams, and no team is going to relax because you're not at your full tilt. Like, so look, you're going to have your eye. As I was in Tubber last night, I seen Kilmaley and Newmarket play in this section as well, and it was a really high quality, intense game of camogie. So we know if we have to come out of this group, we have to come out of a group of 3 with 2 other semi-finalists from last year fighting for that second spot along with ourselves. So we know we're under no illusions that it's going to be a huge battle, but that's why we play camogie. Look, these girls were stuck in their sitting rooms with me in February doing strength and conditions through Zoom, and at that stage no one knew whether this was ever going to be possible, that we'd step out in the field with 2 or 3 or 500 people present in the month of August or September. So we're just delighted to be back, and we're delighted to get the win, and we're going to roll on to next week and try and build the momentum ahead of the rest of the games in the following weeks.
Well, David Sullivan of the Scariff management, thanks indeed for joining us. Well done, and a really impressive victory today. We wish you luck in the rest of the campaign, and from the way you're talking, I'd say the determination won't be lacking any of us. So it's the very best of luck, and thank you for joining us very much indeed.
We may be outsiders, but we're here to win with the rest of the girls, and thanks very much.
David, thanks very much.
You've been listening to News Extra on Scariff Bay Community Radio. Join us again next week, and we'll keep you updated on local events. And this is Ursula Hogan for Scariff Bay Community Radio.
Alright then, that was the news, read by Mount Shannon lady and resident Ursula Hogan, and we are live currently in Mount Shannon, and I'm going to hand you over to another Mount Shannon resident for a revisit to a live version of the Morning Dew. Cliona, so take it away.
Good morning, everybody. I am Cliona Donlan, and welcome to the Morning Dew. I'm looking forward to bringing it to you live here from the Astor Park in Mount Shannon, where there has been a fantastic festival ongoing over the weekend. And today we have a huge lineup of tradition and musicians right beside me in the park a little later. But before we kick off, a reminder for anybody that's around the area, they can pop down by the lake right now, and in the marquee they can join in the pop-up Gaeltacht facilitated by Bernadette Watson. But to kickstart us off on our live Morning Dew this last September Sunday, we have the Tullacaley Band playing the Dublin Reel and the Steam Packet. So here we are in the camper van, and we have a little lack of sound right now. So we're just a little technical issue. So I'll stay chatting with you. As I was saying, little later at 12 o'clock, we have here we are. We're back on the air, I think, hopefully. A few little technical issues. I did hear something there, but maybe we're still not hearing that coming through. As I said, we have a great lineup starting at 2 o'clock with the Hunts and the Murphys from Tulla. Live music from 2 to 3 o'clock, and it's free for all trad events into the Astor Park today. But if you really would like to support the efforts of the festival committees here of both the arts and the trad, you can buy a wristband to keep the support going and to keep these festivals ongoing. So, hopefully we're back now at this point maybe we have, maybe we haven't. Can you tell me?
We have a little bit of a technical hitch there, Cliona.
A little bit of a technical hitch.
I can see the music playing here, but it doesn't really seem to like it. Are all your volumes up your side?
All my volumes are up on this side, yes.
Right, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm just going to unplug for a second, and we'll try and... I'll see if I can round up a song that I should have played yesterday, but that I didn't. Was a little bit has a little bit of a trad effect. Okay. Okay,
and I will keep. Well, I can keep chatting about the programme anyway, Luke, as we try and get the sound going as well.
Okay.
As I said, right now you can go to the pop-up Gaeltacht down at the harbour if you wish. As I said, the Hunts and the Murphys are kick-starting off at 2 o'clock. At 5 o'clock this evening, we have the infamous Eileen O'Brien from Tipperary with Andrew McNamara from Tulla, accompanied by Deirdre McSharry from the Astor Park here at 5 o'clock. And Luke is about to say something to me.
I think the issue is on your side, Cliona, because we'll try and get this one played and we'll see how we go.
Well, so I'll pause what I'm doing here. I'm listening to two things coming through.
mische sin trúa nach mische ben fádín. Sin trúa nach mische san bana dag a gáilte. Rachan go gali, is rachan go gali le fádín. Rachan go gali, is jochan no hal is a máid leis. Sin trúa nach mische sin trúa nach mische ben fádín. Sin trúa nach mische san bana dag a gáilte. Oh, I go to Galway, oh, I go to Galway with Bodine. Oh, we go to Galway together and sail away home in the body. I look through the window, I look through the window for Paddy. His wife inside sitting there knitting while I'm stuck inside in the garden. I wish I was wedded, I wish I was wedded to Paddy. He's chosen to marry another, and that is the cause of my raging. Rock and go ahead and the clock on your sheer, go bell on the boy, for run on his chocolate.
I'll tell you what, Cleaner, we're going to have a little bit of an on-air discussion here just to see if we can sort of solve our issues, because we say it does appear to be working from one machine, and we're just going to sort of plug it into your machine now as well. And just tell me now if you press play there again.
And here we are.
Yeah, and the band don't really want to play.
No, they don't.
Okay, that is rather disappointing, as the man says.
So at 6 o'clock, we kick off with great Seamus. At 6 o'clock then this evening. I'm sorry for this technical issues here from the camper van in Mount Shannon in the Astor Park. We've been in here all weekend. Scariff Bay Community Radio have been in here. We're bringing you live shows. Yesterday we had Saturday Chronicle with Cara McNamara coming live from here. And a huge thanks to Sheila O'Connor for donating the camper van for us to use. I see loads of new stalls have set up here again in the Astor Park, and there is also a van out selling some very interesting instruments on the main street as well. All sorts of stalls are operating here. At some point we do hope to start bringing you some of the best of East Clare music, but again telling you some of the lineup. Seamus Bugler will be here at 6 o'clock this evening, and he will be accompanied with Stephanie Keane will do some Shanos dancing, and all three groups together will come together for a short period to bring you an absolute uplifting East Clare music just after Seamus's slot at 6 o'clock this evening. And then where are we after that? We have a very special community presentation that we would encourage everybody in the parish of Mount Shannon and Wycott and Scariff even to come out and celebrate with us. We are going to honour a person who has contributed hugely to traditional music in East Clare for numerous years. So we really do encourage all the community to come out and be part of that celebration with us. As I say, all of the events are free. All the trad events at the Revisit Mount Shannon Trad Festival here this Sunday on the 26th of September from the Astor Park here in Mount Shannon. And we'll also bring you some audio live coverage from the music from the bands a little later. Hopefully our technical issues will be well sorted by then as we test them out here. I love Lucas smiling away, plugging in and out different gadgets here to see what the issue is, but we will hopefully get it sorted very soon. I'm going to have a couple of interviews too at 1 o'clock. Hopefully we'll be speaking with Yenny, who delivered a very interesting Oriental brush workshop painting yesterday on orchid painting. And then at 1:30 we will be speaking to the man that is leading up the short film fla that's taking place here at 8:30 tonight from the Marquee, where you will get to experience a number of short films. And then we will be speaking with John Tynan at approximately 1:30. But do pop in if if you're around the village and you see the camper van here near the marquee, wave in the window and say hello with us, and we'll play a special request for you if we can. And as I said, we've got a great lineup of music here. We'll have to be selective in how we kickstart off them with the samples, but we do have some samples from some of the great performers that are coming your way today here from the Morning Dew live. How are we looking, Luke? Are we still... We're going to give it a go again, I think, and see what happens.
Yeah, we're not great here now at the minute because for some reason this really does not want to work on your machine. But I tell you what I could potentially do is I could throw on a song, okay? And while I'm doing that, we could transfer a few songs from your laptop onto another one, and we get things going. I think it might be the easiest way to do it.
If we had internet, but we can see what.
Okay.
Oh, super! That's fantastic.
As the man says, we might have the technology to do that without the internet, as the man says. So,
and I think you're just testing my skills for impromptu chat, Luke.
Yeah. Well, you're doing quite well. I have to say, it's very good. So,
over the last couple of months, of course, we have had a lot. We have been off FM, but of course we've been back on FM here at Scariff Bay Community Radio for the last number of weeks, and it's absolutely fantastic. And there's a huge range of listeners that I met over the last few days that love tuning into the Morning Dew. Some of those ladies were heading up the great hospice collection in Scariff yesterday. I'd like to say a huge shout out to them. They were absolutely fantastic. Anna McGillicuddy was heading that up, and great job as I went in to have a meeting with Carol McNamara about our schedules over the weekend, and it was so enjoyable to be able to have our meeting there in the Market Square in Scariff. As I say, I'm looking out the window of the camper van here. It's just a little bit of a wind and a little bit of a drizzle, but that is not going to deter us because we've got a huge stunning marquee that's beautifully enclosed with gorgeous seating areas. So let that not deter any of you for coming out today for the live performances. I know Aisling Hunt is already on her way over here to kickstart and do some sound checks with her group, herself and Leah with the Murphy sisters, and they're going to be accompanied with Sinead Mulqueen at 2 o'clock.
Not Carol, I'm thinking of yesterday. Cliona, I'm going to give us 3 minutes to try and fix this, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to put on a bit of Seamus Bugler.
Lovely,
okay?
Great choice, Luke.
And it was a good job I had a few things lined up from yesterday. Right, so we'll see how this goes, and we'll try and solve things, okay? So we'll be back in a few minutes. Right then, Cliona, I'm going to interrupt Seamus there for a moment now, because I think, you know, the man that always says it's good if you have Plan B.
Plan B is always a great idea, isn't it, Luke?
Right. So now you're plugged in again there. Now, will you try and play a song off your machine there and give it a go?
Well, as I was about to say a little earlier, we were going to kick off with the Tullagilly Band, and they're going to play the Dublin Reel and the Steam Packet. Welcome to the Morning Dew. Oh, isn't that just the best sound on a Sunday morning? The Tullagilly Band kicking off the Morning Dew here. A little bit of a ropey start, but sure, no worries. We're all chilled out here in festive fear from the Astor Park here in Mount Shannon. I'm going to say a couple of hellos out there. Hello to Breed O'Gorman. I know her daughter Shiva had a beautiful communion yesterday. They're listening in. And we've got some listeners in from Argentina on the first Morning Dew. Back from Argentina to Claire here. Pablo, a lovely hello to yourself and your lovely family out there. So next we're going to kick straight off. We're not going far from here at all. Over the road to a man that was played part of the festival here last week on Culture Night, and it is Manus Maguire, taken from his album The Copperplate Session, and he's going to play a selection of reels collectively entitled The Shetland Reel Set. So there you have it, the great Manus Maguire there playing the Shetland reel set taken from his album The Copper Plate Sessions, and of course we launched that here at Mount Shannon Trad Festival a couple of years ago. It was indeed a great honour. So we're going to take one more track from that, and this time it's going to be the Carousel Waltz, a favourite of Manus that he had already previously recorded with his brother Seamus Maguire. It's called the Carousel Waltz. There we have it, Manus Maguire from his album The Copperplate Sessions playing the Carousel Waltz. So I think it's time for a song this time, and we're not going far away at all. We're going over as far as Limerick, but she's living in Clare. It's Deirdre Scanlon, taken from her album Faces, and this time she's singing Long, Long Before Your Time.
On this fine summer's day, and why the tears are in my eyes, though they seem so far away. Come sit your yourself beside me now and put your hand in mine, and I'll tell you of someone I loved long, long before your time. I'm sitting here and thinking on the days long, long ago, when I was just a child like you and a girl I used to know. Through fields of green we laughed and played, and we sang our merry rhyme. Oh, summer days were warmer then, long, long before your time. Through childhood years our love did bloom, our hearts were just as one, and we promised each eternal love in the church below the town. We settled in this little house, I was proud to call her mine. Oh, we were young and happy then, long, long before your time. And just one lovely year we had until the sickness came that stole the roses from her cheeks. My tears, they fell like rain. For 9 long months she carried you, oh, but in the end she died. Oh, she chose to go that you might live long, long before your time. So you ask me why I look so sad on this fine summer's day, or why the tears are in my eyes, though they seem so far away. 'Tis just because you look like her when your eyes look into mine, and when you smile just like she did long, long before your time.
Oh, the gorgeous voice there of Deirdre Scanlon, taken from her album called Faces. Long, long before your time was the song. Absolutely beautiful. So, as I said earlier, the Morning Dew is coming to you live from the Astor Park in Mount Shannon, where the Revisit Trad Festival is taking place today. As we look out the window, there's a little bit of a drizzle and a breeze, but there's children running around playing in the park, and footballs and stalls offering curries and teas and coffees and jewellery, and the sound check is happening in the marquee, and the pop-up quail taxi is happening and to the right of us. So there's great activity going on here at the park. So I would encourage you all to come down for this free event all day. If you wish to support the festival, there's wristbands available as well, and come down and enjoy all the groups. The first group kicking off at 2 o'clock, as I said, Aisling Hunt family and the Murphys joined with Sinead Mulqueen. But before then, we've got lots and lots of more music here for you on the Morning Dew, and we're we're going to go for some flute music this time. The album name is The Long Hard Road, and the performer is Tom McElvogue, accompanied by Paddy Kerr, and they're going to play Peter Wipers and Walshes. Gorgeous flute playing there from Tom McElvogue, taken from his album The Long Hard Road. And we were very fortunate to have a couple of tunes with Tom during the year, during the summer, when we had a beautiful holiday weekend, and we had some great tunes here in East Clare when he was down to visit. So we're going to take another set from his album. Lovely flute playing indeed. The Chattering Magpie, The Pigeon on the Gate, and the third one is Gone Annam. Absolutely mighty set of reels there indeed from Tom Michael Vogue from his album The Long Hard Road, accompanied by Paddy Kerr there as well. So we're actually going to take another song, and this time it's from Don Stiff from his album Start of a Dream, and it's called Crag Hill, featuring Artie McLean.
It'd been in spring, and the small birds they were singing. Down by a shady arbour I carelessly did stray, where the thrushes they were warbling, the violets they were charming, for to view two lovers talking while I did delay. She said, "My dear, don't leave me all for another season. Though fortune may be pleasing, I'll go along with you. I'll give up friends and relations, and I'll quit this Irish nation, and to the bonny banks forever I'll bid adieu." He said, "My dear, don't grieve me, or yet annoy my patience. You know I love you dearly, although I'm going away. I'm going to some foreign nation to purchase a plantation, or to comfort us hereafter, all in America." Their bailiffs and their beagles, the land of our forefathers, were forced for to give o'er, and we're sailing on the ocean for honour and promotion, and we're parting with our sweethearts, it's them we do adore. If you're your bed lying and thinking upon dying, one sight of the bonny banks your sorrows you'd give o'er, and if you were but 1 hour all in her shady bower, pleasure would surround you, you'd think on death no more. So fare thee well, sweet Craigie Hill, where oft times I have roved in. I never thought in my childhood days I'd part you anymore, but we're sailing on the ocean for honour and promotion, and the bonny boats are sailing down by the Jordan shore.
Oh, Don Stiff there singing a lovely song indeed called Crag Hill, and he was featuring Archie McGlenn on that recording as well. And a lovely message in from Manus Maguire. He's listening in over in Toomgraney, just a couple of minutes over the road, and he's letting us know that he's coming over to join us later. Delighted to hear it, Manus. And a big shout out to Luke for getting the Plan B going there. Fair play, Manus. And of course we'll encourage everybody to come out, because there is an absolutely amazing marquee here. I know if you look out the window it might look a little bit blustery, but do not let that deter you for coming, because it's going to be magic trad music coming from the marquee here at the Astor Park in Mount Shannon. It's quite enclosed for a marquee, and beautiful seating area underneath it, so there's no exposure outside in the elements. A good hat and a good jacket, and that's all you need. And there are great stalls here with mugs of tea and coffee and curries and lots of nice nibbles, sweet things as well. So definitely encourage all of you to come down here to the Mount Shannon, revisit Mount Shannon Trad Festival here, and the Arts Festival is ongoing as well. And I'll be talking to somebody a little bit later about a whole set of short films that are taking place after the Trad events this evening. So we'll be looking forward to that at approximately 1:30. In the meantime, we're going to cross over. I'm looking over here at the Tipperary Hills, straight across from me, and our next guest is going to be crossing over from Tipperary today to the Astor here, not by boat, I'd say, by car, but it's Eileen O'Brien, and I'm going to take us one of her tracks from her album that she brought out in Lehane on the compositions of her great late father, Paddy O'Brien. The set this time is The Happy Man and Cutting the Hay. Oh, the great fiddler Eileen O'Brien, as I said, making her way over here this afternoon. That was a real set taken from her album in Lehane. So we're really, really looking forward to having Eileen, Andrew McNamara and Deirdre McSharry over here later. Deirdre was just texting me there. She's getting in the car, making her way over. She's going to be here for lots more of the festivities here today. Not going to miss it for sure and certain. Ger Griffin is listening in from North County Dublin. Ger, great to have you on board with us today, and I think it's his grandchild maybe that he sent a photo of listening in as well. So now we're going to move to some banjo music, and none other than Angelina Carberry from her album Plucking Mad. And of course Angelina is still celebrating, I'd imagine, after receiving the Gradam Ceol TG Cahir Musician of the Year for 2021. Can we extend a huge congratulations to Angelina from us all here on the Morning Dew. And indeed Angelina and Dan Bruder have been part of the Mount Shannon Festival for many, many years, coming down here at least 6 of the years that we've had on. So a huge congratulations again to Angelina. We're going to have her play a set of hornpipes here, Kathleen Orr, Arthur's hornpipe and Martin Mulvehels. Oh, and there we go, the woman herself, the recipient of this year's Gradam Ceol TG Cahir Musician of the Year Award, Angelina Carberry. We're going to take another one from Angelina in a few minutes. We're going to go as far as Galway this time, up to the two great Kane sisters up there, taken from their album Side by Side. And on this set, they're going to be playing Papa's Pet, A Rainy Day, and Eileen O'Brien's, who we just played a few moments ago. Here we have Liz and Yvonne Kane. But right after it, just to say, we're going to be doing an interview with a very creative artist that's been part of the Mount Shannon Arts Festival. So right after this track from the Canes. Oh, the best of fiddle music there from the Kane sisters on their album Side by Side, playing Papa's Pet, A Rainy Day, and Eileen O'Brien's. So I'm delighted to welcome a beautiful lady here beside me, Yingi Zhu. Is that correct? I'm probably wrong in my pronunciation.
No, perfectly. Inga, yes.
Oh, not too bad. I'm delighted to have you here in the camper van in the Ashton Park. And I know we were busy yesterday, but I know I definitely missed out on the opportunity to have experienced two very contrasting types of workshops. The first one was an Oriental brush shop that you were delivering. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
So the workshop was yesterday morning, and we have a beautiful venue. And I'm very glad people came from different parts, not only from Mount Shannon, also drove for quite a few hours to come for the festival and the workshop. So I really appreciate.
Great turnout from right across the country for it. And this Oriental brush workshop, I was just looking at it there this morning, and you very much focused on, going into a meditative space first and encouraging people to use a particular posture for doing this particular type of brush stroke in bringing out, creating leaves. Isn't that right?
Beautifully described. Yes, so for my workshop is not only about drawing. Well, it's a beautiful way to express the beauty from nature. And every time before my class or workshop, we do quiet sitting. Sometimes I do some guiding. So we just sit quietly and to bring all the tension come back from outside to inside. And everything starts from there.
Which is quite interesting, because I suppose for artists it is very much the emotional inward, trying to express from the inside out, isn't it? For all types of artists, isn't it?
Actually, very interesting. I was talking with one of the artists. He was teaching in, I think, County Kilkenny. There's a studio, and we were talking about art, or not only art, in our daily lives. Different cultures from different background, like East or West. And we both find they are valuable, and the great things how to bring them together. For example, I came from a background, and Oriental brush practice. So I came from a traditional culture, and back to thousands years ago. And when I came here to Ireland 6 years ago, I do find some cross-culture, no matter it's crash or it's kind of merged together. And to apply the discipline from one culture and also embrace the creativity from the other. I think both have to play a role, not only just express your personal, creativity, and it comes from also back to the, we just mentioned, come back to the very, come back home. Mm-hmm. So we will need some discipline to really start to look at things in a way, learn from our ancestors, learn from nature. That thing shouldn't be lost. And based on that, our creativity comes later. Then you are rooted. You are not just like crowd and just express, but you are rooted at the same time. You are different. You are individual. Mm.
Because in the Irish traditional music culture, we would resonate a lot with, our formative people who have gone before us, our landscape around us when we play our music and compose our music. So there, as you said, those cross-cultural things that come together. But I suppose what you're really saying is reminding people that before we create and outwardly express, we need to come back, no matter whether we're coming from the east or west, to come back into ourselves, into a clear space to allow that creativity out.
Exactly, beautiful described. That's everything creativity. Like if we go back to any of the artists, no matter writer, poet, and artist, all the great artists or the creativity, like the artworks they have done, they all come a sense of the common space that is coming back home. That core.
And that is almost like a preview for the second performance that you did here in the park, and unfortunately I wasn't able to be here for that, but this one really intrigued me in the description, and I felt maybe not for the faint-hearted, because it's that real mirror image. They say the eyes are the vision to the soul, isn't that right?
Exactly. Clee just mentioned about activity I did yesterday afternoon. We were sitting in the beautiful harbor.
Yes.
And we are doing an eye-to-eye, eye-gazing activity. So I literally, I sit from 2:30, and when we finish, I didn't realize it's already nearly 7 o'clock. And I thought it's probably just 5 o'clock, but just how you see like time as a concept, how is it different? People experience when you are very present, and time just like beautifully just flies.
So just to let the listeners know what this involved, it is really sitting eye gazing as I'm doing with you now, really gazing into each other's eyes. And were people doing that for a number of hours, or was it intermixed with other activities?
So it's very simply, so we sit across a wooden table, but I put my singing bowl. So when people come in, they sit in front of me probably a few minutes. And then after I ring the bell, I will start to look at their eyes. And it's really, for me, I'm like a mirror. I'm not trying to trigger any emotions. I'm more like sitting there to hold the space. So people can feel how they feel. And then when they feel ready, when they feel they get what they expect or not expected, they can pick up the ink brush and they draw something on the paper.
So the participants are looking at your eyes rather than each other's?
We look at each other.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, I'm trying to be a mirror.
Okay.
So they will look at me as a reflection about themselves. So it's because nowadays probably we don't have that kind of time or to really sit and look at someone and without judgment.
And do you find when you're delivering these types of workshops that it's difficult for people who haven't maybe done it previously, or is there a difference?
So with whoever walked in, I really feel appreciate about they take the challenge, if the challenge for themselves, or if they just came to sit with me. And what I felt is different person you can see from their facial expressions, and there's things in common, but they're also individual difference because of their life experience. But what I found finally we are all the same. You can see from their eyes, we are all looking for something. When they came to me, curiosity, the first thing I can see from their eyes straight away. And then we're all looking for something. Third is we all came through so many things through our life. And I was chanting for them at the very end, every one of them, like we are all the same. And we are doing very good now, and just keep on doing what we are doing to bring the best out of ourselves. That's the thing we can do as an individual.
I think what you're doing is, it's the timing of it, especially like worldwide coming out of the pandemic, and people are tending to kind of take on board that forced slowing down but reevaluating their lives. And I think there's a lot more people wanting to reconnect with the landscape and not be on the continuous treadmill of the busyness of life, and really take stock. And these types of workshops that you do, I think are really kind of supporting that idea now in this time in 2021.
Beautifully, yes. So I do, and I know pandemic is a shock for internationally, but I always will say things happens has a reason, and I do think instead of thinking it as a threat, I would rather take it as an opportunity. What these things happened, trying to tell us. And what I found one is a global awakening. People are, you think about if we not happen, it's really difficult for all the human beings are facing something at the same time. And this thing make us slowing down, and as you mentioned, to go inside ourselves.
Yingy, I know that you moved to Kerry recently, a few weeks ago, and before that you were in Dublin and Galway, and you were really enjoying the countryside in Ireland. And I know you waited on, especially for this chat with us on the Morning Dew this morning, so we really, really do appreciate that. But before I let you go, I'd just like to know, is there anywhere, I'm really curious about your work myself, and is there anywhere that people can follow up? I presume you're doing more events after this. Where can they check out dates and catch up with you again?
Thank you. Yes, I do. So I would say my mission or my purpose I see in my life is to deliver the ink brush or the culture or philosophy that I humbly can deliver. So I do have, I offer ink painting and calligraphy courses, and there will be one coming up in 2 or 3 weeks. And if you're interested, you can check out my website. It's artofthebrush.ie. Artofthebrush.ie.
Artofthebrush.ie. Well, on that note, thank you so much for joining us today with those very, very intriguing ideas and workshops, and I'm sure we can all take something from it moving forward in these evolving times. Thank you so much for joining us today, Yingy, on the Morning Dew here in East Clare.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Take care. So that was a very, very interesting conversation. Really looking forward to listening back to some of that. We should be able to during the week, I hope. And I promised you another track from Angelina Carberry, and this time we're going to kick it off now with Miss McDonald's and Lord Gordon's. Angelina Carberry there from her album Pluckin' Mad, and she was playing Miss McLeod's. And what was the second one there? Lord Gordon. So there we have it. We're going to have another chat in a few minutes. But before we do, we're going to go back to the Canes again for another set from their great album Side by Side. And this time it is Farewell to Aircourt, The Stone in the Field and Paddy Fahey's. Great stuff there from Liz and Devon, playing Farewell to Aircourt, The Stone in the Field, and of course the third one would have to be Paddy Fahey's. So we're going to go for some concertina music now from Noel Hill, and this time he's going to play that beautiful air, The Mountains of Pomeroy. A beautiful arrangement there of The Mountains of Pomeroy by Noel Hill, taken from his album The Irish Concertina 2, which of course had a great lineup of guest musicians: Alec Finn, Artie McLean, Brian McGrath, Liam O'Connor and Steve Cooney. One of the great albums indeed. So before we go on with another bit of music, just to remind you, the Morning Dew is coming live from the Astor Park here, where today is Revisit Mount Shannon Trad Festival, but there is still loads of other activities taking place And after our last performance tonight, we've got a short film fla, and I have the man here himself behind it who's going to be presenting all of this tonight. John Tynan, welcome to the Astor in Mount Shannon.
Thank you very much, Clee. I have to correct you there. I'm not the man. I'm one of 3 men
that are going to be
presenting. That we've collaborated together, and we've put together a schedule of films. I think a program that will leave you with be thought-provoking, entertained, and will move you in different ways. It can be a comedic, there's drama there, and so on and so forth. You know.
So just to give an overview first before we get into the specifics, sure. You have approximately, did you say 10 different
10
short
films? Yeah, ranging in different lengths. Obviously, the shortest is only 1 minute long. A lot of impact to it. I actually like this film myself personally, and it will surprise you. I think the ending. Actually, I find the ending. I watched it once. The ending surprised me in this film. It's called The Marksman.
Okay.
And when I watched it the second time, it disturbed me knowing what was about to happen.
Okay, so is there very, very in-depth meaning behind all of them, or is there quite different variety in them?
No, I think there's quite a lot of depth to all of the films there. Yes, there's a message in practically every one of them, you know.
And then have different people produced them then, John?
Oh, indeed. Yes, yeah. There's a couple of films by a guy called, he's a Kerry man, his name is Sean O'Connor, and one of his films this year was longlisted for the Academy Awards. So, like, the films, they're top quality, including my own. I'd say I've got a film in it as well.
And I've just noticed that they're on the lineup. I said, hold on a minute, this man's name that I'm coming in, he's also got one of his own movies or short films on this tonight. So is this your first film production?
It is my first film, it is, yeah.
But you have a lot of other accolades to your name as well.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Flash through a few of them there, just now that we have you all the way from Cork here today.
Well, sure, no, I don't want to be blowing my own trumpet. It's not about me, it's about the festival tonight. But yeah, listen, my driving force is having fun. I like to write, and from that then I come up with different projects of it, be it poetry, be it exhibitions of photography with my art, with my poetry, short stories, etc. One of these short stories then I converted to a film, I made into a film, and it's called Sorry, and it's about 2 bullies, 2 brothers, one guy's a bully, and there's a surprise ending to that as well, and he's just musing on the word sorry. And I think sorry is a quintessential element of Irish character, you know, because they work forever saying sorry, you know. So,
yes, yeah. And how long is your own movie in that?
Just over 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Yeah.
So, like this, that's quite thought-provoking. I almost imagine you need a little bit of time to absorb it. As you said, even that 1 minute one that you watched before you went back and watched it again before you got the actual meaning of it.
Sure.
I have no doubt that people coming to the night are going to be walking away with and talking about the experience for the next week, I imagine,
I hope
what
so.
you described.
I hope so, yeah. And I mean, apart from the film, people are going to be indulged by refreshments, and there's going to be pizza there as well available. That's all included in the ticket price. And I want to mention that the tickets are available online, and I would encourage people to go online and buy them now, because I have a feeling they're going to sell out fairly, you know. It's in the marquee.
So there's 10 different short films, a break in between where there's pizza and a glass of wine, and time, I suppose, to talk about the movies as well. Is it 5 and 5, or does it depend on the movie length?
I think it's approximately that. I'm not sure exactly. We didn't actually time it.
Okay.
But I think as well, I'd have to mention as well that the centrepiece of the night is a film that I must say, like, I found very inspiring, and that was made specifically to celebrate 25 years of Mount Shannon Arts Festival. And I've watched that, and I found it inspiring and uplifting, you know. And I think, like, when you watch that, I think people from the locality will rightly take pride in what they have here in this particular festival, you know. It also goes into the origins of how it started, and it was Val Balance,
that's right,
and Nicola Henley, and how Val had the spark of an idea, and then when all local artists and local people got on board, it became a flame, you know. And it's called, the film is called Art and Community, and when you watch it, you'll see how this has brought people together as a community under the umbrella of arts, you know.
And that's a locally produced film, isn't it?
It is, and it's superb. It really is a superb film. And
just an overview in general of where the other 9 films are coming from. Are they right around the country in Ireland, or are they most basically on the west?
No, they're from all around the country. One of them actually is from is international as well, you know.
International.
So, yeah.
And of course, you know, I know you're a writer, and this is where you've made your own film. Are a lot of them new productions, or have these producers and directors produced a number of other films before? Or what gets people into this production of short films is quite intriguing.
Well, I suppose like to put on a feature film, like it's going to cost you an awful lot of money, you know.
Exactly,
Whereas this with a short film, you know, you can do that with a limited budget. I think fundamentally, it's a bit like the festival here. It's about bringing people together. I mean, obviously, I couldn't make a film on my own, but I have the story.
Yes.
I discuss it with people, and we come together as a team, and we work to create something, you know. And I think that's what you'll find with most of these films. Most of these guys they're like ourselves, you know.
And I suppose that's really inspiring for any young people too that might come and watch these short films tonight, because as you said, how much would it cost you to make a feature film? It would be inaccessible for most people, but for people that are interested in the creative side and film production, it's a great opportunity for young people to come and just see that as well, and how it's produced.
And I mean, going forward, hopefully next year, I would like personally to start inviting some of these directors and writers to come along and to share their thoughts and to be accessible to the audience, you know, so I can question them as to what the process is and what inspires them as well, you know.
Yeah. So just for the few people that might be sitting at home looking out at the drizzle and the little bit of a wind,
I was thinking about
tell us about the setup. Is it it's a big screen in this fantastic marquee down here, isn't it? It's completely enclosed, and it's a big screen on the stage that'll be...
It will be on the stage, and it's a screen that is owned by the Arts Festival itself, you know, and so yeah, what I would suggest as well, though, I mean, look, there's a storm forecast for the afternoon. I'm here now. I'm telling people, come down anyway.
Yes.
There's going to be amazing trad music on here all afternoon.
Right.
You're in the marquee. You're sheltered. You know.
Yeah.
Don't be put off. There's one thing I've done there. I've indulged myself in some of the food that's on offer in some of the stalls, and there's all sorts of stuff going on in the town. Come down and enjoy it and appreciate it and take pride in it, you know?
Absolutely. And on that note, John, you're spending some of your time now up in East Clare. I know here there's a Cork accent coming in there, but the camper van is rocking, I feel it. And maybe the storm is hitting up. A bit of a Father Ted moment here going on at the moment. Hold on to the seats. But you're a Cork man originally, but you're spending a good bit of time up in East Clare now, so
I am indeed, yeah. I didn't foresee that I'd come up here, but I met somebody last year. I was bitten by the COVID bug of love, you know.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so
well, it's always a good thing to make somebody travel to a new place.
Indeed.
How are you finding East Clare before I let you go?
Fascinating. I mean, I'm amazed the scenery, the nature here, and the people themselves, you know, because everybody seems to have different strings to their bows, you know. And again, like that has, and I've become involved in some of these projects that are going on. And it's just amazing.
And I suppose, John, before I let you go, all of us involved in the arts, you have to have a couple of strings to your bow, don't you? And kind of be willing to recreate and reinvent and regenerate, as the theme of this festival is this weekend.
Yeah, I suppose we have to. Well, it keeps it fresh.
It does. It keeps it fresh. So there you go, folks. Where can we get the tickets?
Online. You can buy them here on the night as well if you come. But I would suggest to you that they are selling, and I'm not just saying that they are selling.
If you don't want to be disappointed, get online or get your son and daughter or somebody beside you online to get the tickets for tonight. It
on
really promises.
MountShannonArts.ie.
MountShannonArts.ie. I need to shut up now for a while. MountShannonArts.ie, and of course it kicks off at 8:30, isn't it?
Indeed, around between 8 and 8:30. Yes, yeah.
John, thank you very much for joining us today, and the best of luck, and congratulations on your own movie featuring as well this evening. Thank you very much.
My pleasure indeed.
Take care. Bye for now. So, folks, how interesting. What an interesting weekend, and it's so great to have all these variety of creative people popping in to talk to us here on The Morning Dew. So we're going to go back for some more trad, and you know what? I think one of the girls that's about to kickstart off the show and the performances here today, I'm going to look for them now on my playlist. Here she is, because it's going to be the Hunts and the Murphy sisters not long from now. What time is it? 13:33, all the threes. So at approximately 2 p.m, from 2 to 3, the best of traditional music coming from a great young group of musicians from over the road in Tulla. So here we have the Hunts and the Murphys, and they're playing a set of reels, McKenna Country and The Old Road to Gary. Oh, there you go. Aisling Hunt on box there, Leah on fiddle, and Paul Plesham was on piano. That's just a lineup of 3. There's going to be 5 or 6 of them on the stage here at the Marquee at the Ashter Park for the Revisit Mount Shannon Trad Festival, kicking off at 2 o'clock. Remind you, come out, wrap up well. It's free. So what more can you ask for? So now we're going to take a song this time, and taken from the album Silvery Light. It's Anne Lynch Lines singing On Buchel Coil Dove.
Dogus Cael Shark Lan Buchel Coil Dove Aus Avena Servashano and thou gaul glenag Margrut on Eglish thou gaul grew a nebrag gan roish thou
Is ushla treha
The stunning singing there of Anne Lynch, lines from her album Silvery Light. Un bucal chwil diov was the song. I love Anne singing, really beautiful. Can you hear that noise behind me? I think there's a bit of a sound check going on over there. Is there, Luke? What do you think? I can hear it coming through. And of course, I'm delighted to welcome to the camper van here in the Astor Park in Mount Shannon, Aisling Hunt, all the way from Tulla. Aisling,
Hi,
it's great to have you here.
Thanks a million, we're delighted to be here.
And you're just saying, like, isn't it great to be back playing live music?
Brilliant, yeah. It's our first festival now, I'd say, since before COVID. So
yeah, it's been a long road,
very
hasn't it?
long, yeah.
And you know, I know we're still semi-outside and we're in the marquee, but I know you had a chance to see the marquee there. It's a great covered-in space, isn't it?
A brilliant setup, yeah. And to be honest, we don't mind about the weather. We're delighted to be back playing.
And you know, it's amazing because I remember when I was contacting all the musicians for this gig, like everybody responded the same way. They just said, thanks so much, because they just want to get back to playing some
hopefully
live music.
The start of it now.
It's fabulous. And we started here on Friday night. We had a live performance here from a Galway singer-songwriter, and it just went down really, really well. And we were talking to a guy here doing the film for tonight, and you know, he's advising people to buy their tickets on time. But I know you have a few friends and family coming over, and we have to reserve a few of the front seats.
Yeah, I was going to text them there now and tell them to drive on a bit because it's filling up.
So this is your first festival gig, so we're really honoured that it's here in Mount Shannon, Aisling. I suppose there'll be a couple of East Lair tunes in there.
There will, of course. There will, yeah.
I remember the first time now I heard Dee playing, I got a couple of lovely tracks that you did in your own house over in Tulla last year with Paul. We just played one of them there with the Murphys as well in your sitting room.
Yeah, so I think it was it about April 2020, it was during the Easter, and myself and my sister Leah, like, we were playing a bit at home, and we said, sure, we'll ring Matt Purcell and record a few. And our great friends, the Murphy sisters, Anya and Kushla, play the fiddle, and Cara, the accordion player as well. So we kind of just joined up and played a few tunes, and we're all delighted to be playing live here today then.
Isn't it fantastic? It's really good. I'm not going to hold you too long. I did want to grab you for a quick hello there. I saw you passing the camper van. Folks, it's 15 minutes to 2. We're going to give me a few minutes to get off from here. So I suppose it'll be realistically maybe 2:05 when we kick off. I'll let you get back to the sound check there, Aisling, and looking forward to listening to you in a few minutes. There we go. So now we're going to go back and squeeze in a couple of more tracks as Aisling jumps off the camper van straight across to the marquee to do the sound check. And Andrew McNamara is going to play from his album The Dawn. And again, Andrew is going to be in the marquee at 5 o'clock this evening with Deirdre McSherry and Eileen O'Brien. Here he is playing Miss McLeod. Oh, there we go. Now, Noel Hill again there, taken from the Irish Concertina. And this time they were playing Farrell O'Gara, The Crooked Road and The Stony Steps. And right before that, we had Andrew McNamara, taken from his album The Dawn, and he was playing Miss McLeod. And we are listening to the raindrops on the roof of the camper van here, just as we're coming near the end of the morning dew. But like, the spirit around the Astor Park here is magnificent. People popping in who are just looking at the stalls outside and saying, you know, the rain doesn't deter us. It's okay. Marguerite was saying to me here, once you're dressed for it. So look at, on that note, make sure you do all come out and support this fantastic day that's happening here with so many things going on. Now, as I told you, we've played a few of the artists that have been on all day, and I know Luke came to the rescue earlier when we had a little bit of technical difficulties at the start of the show, but we're going to manage to squeeze in yet another one of his tracks, a testament of his musicianship, that we all have him on our list. So we're coming back close to home to Seamus Bugler, and taken from his album The Luck Penny. Of course, it's one of two albums that he features on. The other one is Life in the Slow Lane. But this time we're going to take a set of reels from Seamus Bugler playing The Graff's Bay and The Boys of Portaferry. Oh, Seamus Bugler there playing The Graff's Bay and The Boys of Portaferry, and taken from his album The Luck Penny, and that featured Billy Greenhall as well on piano. And as I said, Seamus Bugler is going to be here in the Marquee this evening at 6 o'clock, just in advance of a very, very special community presentation this evening. Again, we need to get the word out to everybody in the community. We hope you come out and support this very, very special event that will happen just after Seamus's music slot, and Stephanie Keane is just after texting me saying, Clee, I've got the board in for the steps. She'll be doing some Shano step dancing, and there's a few more friends travelling down this evening as well, just to get the opportunity to have a live tune, but I'm not going to give out those names. So I'm telling you, that stage is going to be rocking for the whole afternoon here. Do not let the rain deter you. I see our Chief of Staff has arrived in with the rain dripping from his Scariff Bay jacket, but he's got a big smile on his face. The atmosphere is really great out in the park. So as I said again, we've been the Morning Dew. You've been listening to us here from the camper van at the Ashton Park in Mount Shannon on this very, very special weekend where the Mount Shannon Arts Festival and the Revisit Mount Shannon Trad came together to bring an absolutely outstanding weekend of activities here to Mount Shannon and the community of East Clare. And as I said, we have a huge lineup this afternoon of all the bands, and as you heard from John earlier, we will finish off the festival night with the film fla, the short film fla here at 8:30 tonight, and there's a bit of an air around the place. There might be a few more other tunes as well. So from me on the Morning Dew here, I'd like to say huge thanks to my right hand man here this evening today, Luke, for all the assistance. We're going to do a quick exit because we've got to cross straight through to plug in a few minutes over at the marquee where the Hunts and the Murphys are going to be filling the park with great music.
And I think, Cleena, I'm just going to butt in a little bit there now, because you need to go, right?
Yes.
And I'm just going to tell our listeners that we'll have a little bit of background music playing for about 5 minutes, because we literally need to sort of decamp from where we currently are and try and keep our little stream going and not plug anything out, and plug into the sound desk, because we're going to have, all going well, a great quality sound. We're going to have sound desk sound for all the events, we'll say, that are taking place. So we'll have the music between 2 and 3, and then we're back live here between 5 and 7 for this evening. So stay tuned. We'll say there might be a few pauses here and there, and you'll probably hear a few musicians having a little bit of a chat in between themselves, and sort of a bit of tuning and all the rest of it. But stay with us, because it's as live as you can get, and
that would make it all the more special, Luke, won't it?
Indeed it will. And we got through the show, so we
sure
apologise for the first 10 minutes, but the last hour 50 made up for it, hopefully.
Most certainly did. Luke, thanks a million. And I'm going to play out here the Tulla Kelly Band playing Roaring Mary, Ships Are Sailing, and the Black-Haired Lass. And we will be back to you in a few minutes after that. Slán for now.
All right, then, you have been listening to The Morning Dew, a slightly abridged version of it, but we got there in the end, and our thanks to Cliona, live back on air for the first time in a few months, and it was great to have her back, and I'm sure the station manager here, who's about 3 feet away from me, isn't going to let her away without sort of coming back every Sunday to do the same. So now Cliona is heading off to sort of get ready to do a few intros for the music that's going to be coming up in a while, and we are going doing a little bit of manoeuvring ourselves. So there's going to be a little bit of background music playing for about the next 5 minutes, and then we will be live with a little bit of music, and we have the Hunt and Murphy's sisters, and I know there's quite a lot of them involved in it, so we'll have music from them coming up in about 5-10 minutes time. So hopefully in the meantime you can hear this music, and we will be back to you in a few minutes time.
Then the rest of us are made up of 2 families that only play the fiddle and the accordion. So on the left here, your left, we have Cushla Murphy and her sister Anya Murphy on the fiddle, and Cara Murphy on the accordion. So. Also on the fiddle here we have Leah Hunt from Tulla as well, and I'm Aisling Hunt and I'm Leah's sister. So we're going to entertain you for the next 50 minutes or hour or so, and we'll break it up between family duets and instrumental duets, accordion duets, fiddle duets and stuff, and we'll let you know as we're going along what we're going to continue with. But again, just a thanks to Cliona and all the Mount Shannon Arts and Trad Festival for bringing us along today, and we're delighted to be here. Thank you.
So we're going to change into our groups of instruments, and we're going to do a fiddle set, and then the accordions are going to do a set. So the fiddles are going to do 2 reels, and then the accordions will play.
Thanks very much. We're going to continue now. We're going to change it up to barn dance, something different from the jigs and the reels. It's one of Joe Band's barn dance, a good East Clare tune, and we'll probably follow that with 2 reels. So, being from Tulla, that's all we play really, reels. And we'll hand it over then to the Murphys for 2 selections after that. So thanks a million again for listening.
So me, Anya and Cara are now going to play 2 sets, a jig set and a reel set.
You're listening to live music here from the festival in Mount Shannon, live from the Astor. And Owen is going to be in studio there for 3 o'clock to take us back to our regular programmes. But in the meantime, here's a bit more music.
Thanks very much. Those were 2 waltzes composed by Marcus Hernan. The Beautiful Goldfinch and the Linnets Chorus. So thanks a million everyone again for coming out today, and thanks to Cleena and all the sound and the marquee and everything, and all at Mount Shannon Arts Festival and Trads Festival for having us here. We're going to finish up with a good blast of reels. We'll have a bit of a play-off maybe between the fiddles and the accordions at the start. So yeah, thanks a million again everyone, and I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you come along later as well at 5 o'clock for Eileen O'Brien, Andrew McNamara and Deirdre McSherry, and again at 6 for Seamus Fugler, who's here, and Cleena as well. So thanks again everyone, hope you enjoyed the last set.
Was that mighty or what, as we'd say with the trad tunes? Would you give another big warm round of applause to these great musicians? Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's evident. I had goosebumps anyway. It's just great to have the live music back again. I think we'll all agree with that. I think he enjoyed it too. So just to remind you, that's just a taste. We have lots more this evening at 5 o'clock, as Aisling said. Another great, more senior formed band. I'm Eileen O'Brien with Andrew McNamara and Deirdre McSharry, not to be missed for certain. And then I see Seamus Bugler there in the audience. He'll be here at 6 o'clock with a few more of us. And then there's a grand finale, so we have a few extra surprises in there as well with musicians. So please do come back at 5 p.m. 5 to 7 promises to be very special this evening. So, and last but not least, thank you all for coming out. At the very start of the hour, it was pouring rain. So thanks to all of you that came here under the circumstances. And I think it was worth it. Thank you, and we'll see you later. Take care.
You'd be rusty though. I was like, the first time in 2018. Under pressure. We're back